Hi, I'm Valerie McConnell, and I'm happy to be here in the beautiful New York City. Right behind me is the Empire State Building, and across the street is the famous Penn Station. And so these are wonderful places for tourists like myself from Hollywood. SGIB Magazine, I like to thank the editor, Mr. Gerard, and dreams do come true with SGIB Magazine. And in my column, The Best of the West with Val.
Okay, Val, tell us, when was the last time you were in New York, and how does it feel about being back in New York?
Well, the last time I was in New York, I can say it was a few years ago, maybe several years ago, and then that was 10. Say that's 10. So that's a good number. And it was a good year because I was able to come to New York, visiting a friend in Queens, and I got the chance to travel across the bridges and the tolls, which we do not have in California, to Manhattan. And when I was in Manhattan, it was beautiful. I got an opportunity to be offered a modeling job with an audition the same day down Times Square. And in Times Square, I was so amazed with all the taxis and the limousines. It was beautiful. And second of all, it was a beautiful movie that was being produced, and I was offered a role.
Okay, well, Val, let's talk a little bit about you. Let's tell everybody you're initially from Tennessee, and you were also winner of Miss Tennessee. So talk to us about that.
Yes, I reigned as Miss Black Tennessee, and it was a beautiful time. You know, dreams do come true. And coming from a small city such as Chattanooga, Tennessee, my mother was a school teacher, and my father, he worked hard, but they never had anything to really aspire except for hard work in Chattanooga. And so what I had aspired to do is become Miss Black Chattanooga. And I pretty much trained myself, and my mother, they was very supportive, but only the night of the event, and actually I won the event.
Okay, well, Val, let's talk about what you do in LA, because you also have Val Television. And let's talk about some of the wonderful clients you work for, like Don King, Snoop Dogg. Let's talk a little bit about what you're doing today.
Well, it's just as a rags to riches story. Of course, the SGIB talks about that in its last issue. But based upon what happened is that my mother and my father, they were very stern about education. So based upon it, I have a love for film. I established a film called The Egyptian Cowgirl. And The Egyptian Cowgirl was Golden Pyramid Films, which I'm the CEO. And by doing that, I established a TV show at Time Warner, which covers Beverly Hills, Hollywood, Santa Monica, and Los Angeles. So based upon it, the shows in which I was able to work on gave me the push to work with Don King, and only in America, the most popular and the most famous boxing promoter is Don King, and I worked with him for 3 years, and that was a wonderful event. Up to now, I'm working with Snoop Dog, Dog Pound Gangsta TV, which content is hip hop, music, and also it helps you to learn how to get into business and keep your dreams alive by becoming the producer that you like or the musician.
Okay, well, we want to also say that we want to thank you, because it was you who made it possible for us to have ringside seats for the Tito Trinidad and the Roy Jones fight. So we want to thank you for doing that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Fashion Week. This is what you have been here for this week, is Fashion Week. Tell us what it's like going into the city, and you were out on Long Island, not Queens, so there's a big difference. Okay?
It was so wonderful. It was a dream come true, because I've always loved New York, and New York Fashion Week was given by Mercedes-Benz, also sponsored by the one and only American Express cards. Yes, girls, on credit cards. But it was a wonderful week, and all the top designers, 100 of them, the full week, 5 days, was able to display their beautiful designs. And I was there to cover for SGIB Magazine, so it was a wonderful week.
Okay, so Val, is there anything else you want to tell our viewers? But before you do this, one question I always ask everybody. What advice would you give someone about following their dreams and their goals? Because you're someone who has accomplished a lot in your life, not only with being Miss Tennessee, having your own TV show, and being as connected you are in the industry. And you didn't mention that you were also with CMX, and CMX was a huge Vegas outlet that you were also affiliated with.
That is correct, Gerard. CMX Sports Entertainment, I like to thank the Brown brothers originally of Chicago, that put up $10 million to provide the sponsorship for a sports promoting company for Don King. And I was the one that was selected to interview at each of the fights. What had happened is that we covered 2 Super Bowls, we covered also 2 NBAs, and many world champion titles. By doing that, it brought me up to today, where it is important to write down your plans and follow your dreams.
Okay, all right, Val, is there a contact number, email address, a website that people can go if they want to know more about Val TV or Valerie Mccconnell?
Well, yes, there is. You can go to www.eworldboxing.eworldmedia.com, and that is all in HD, high definition internet television. So that is the wave of the future.
Okay, and right now we gotta go catch that plane, baby, right? Okay, we love you, Val. Can we get a little runway?